St Helens is also famous for being at the centre of the railway revolution due to the famous Rainhill locomotive trials of 1829, an event that swept the name of Stephenson's rocket into railway legend. A large mural was painted depicting scenes from the 1829 trial. There was a carnival atmosphere as houses and streets were decorated, and floats were constructed for a great procession. Many of the floats took railway themes with models of famous engines, and one locomotive in particular, made by local children, seemed to be the star of the show. The Rainhill trials were endurance tests for early locomotives, with the winners looking to gain major contracts to supply the ever-growing railway network. A lot was at stake. Back in the 1820s, Rainhill was just a quiet village. But in 1979, the people of the small town were enthusiastically joining in the preparations for the biggest event in the area since the original trials. Enthusiasts, leaders of the modern railway industry and the media converged on the town. For a few days, Rainhill would once again be the centre of the railway world. The following year, 1980, 150 years after the introduction of the first passenger service between the great cities of Liverpool and Manchester, famous engines from across the country started arriving for the great cavalcade of steam. 30 historic locomotives ready for the big event were marshalled in sidings close to Bold Colliery. Finally, in front of thousands of onlookers, the three-day event began. The whole of railway history was represented. Among the many famous engines were Lion, a veteran of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway from 1838. Hardwick was one of the fastest engines in its day, reaching 67 miles an hour, a staggering speed for 1895. Even modest colliery engines like Robert, once a common sight, have a proud place in the parade. On the subject of speed, the sleek and powerful lines of the Sir Nigel Gresley, made to the same design as Mallard, the engine which still holds the world record as the fastest steam locomotive ever. Modern-day trains were also well represented, with an early appearance of the now familiar Intercity 125. And the ill-fated APT, the advanced passenger train, which, despite its 21st century technology, was short-lived in service. Helped along by a modern 08 shunter, a replica of the early loco Sans Péril. And pride of place in the parade, the engine that everyone had come to see. Rocket is probably one of the best-known steam engines of all time, and in 1979, a full-size replica, complete with a copy of its original coach, steamed along the straight at Rainhill.